Welcome to the Retrograde Season Special. Hello, so on the 7th of November, we will begin the pre-retrograde shadow period from the last Mercury retrograde of 2024. This will occur in the sign of Sagittarius. So if you have planets or angles in the sign of Sagittarius, this will most likely be quite a doozy for you. So it will go from the 22 degrees of Sagittarius, which you'll get to on the 26th of November, which is when it will go into retrograde, and it will go all the way back to 6 degrees of Sagittarius on the 15th of December, which is when the retrograde ends. However, the shadow periods extend out from the 7th of November and all the way to the 2nd of January 2025. So this is going to be pretty much all of November, December in this Mercury retrograde of just miscommunications, delays in communication. So obviously with the holiday period, that can be around things like people breaking up and closing down workplaces over the holiday period, emails not getting sent beforehand, messages not getting through beforehand, and all that sort of stuff, waiting on things. But also with it being a time where people do a lot of gift buying and shopping online, so there will be issues most likely around the transport of that and the deliveries, just things going missing, things getting confused, messed up, all that sort of thing, mixed up. Mercury is about communication. It's about technology, so internet-based things, online things, and just things not working out, like tech gadgetry going wrong, gizmos in the gadgets and all that sort of stuff. And it's also about travel, like cars. Your car could have problems around a Mercury retrograde, depending on where the Mercury retrograde falls on your own natal chart. And it can be about learning. Sagittarius similarly has similar links to travel, but it's further afield. It can be from abroad, larger travel, transportation, that sort of thing. It's also about learning. It tends to be a higher base learning thing. So you may find that you're going back over foundation type work if you're taking a course of learning, relearning stuff, going back over things in order to proceed higher. If you're wanting to take a higher course and learn more, you might think, oh, I need to go back over some basics. That might be a good thing to do during this retrograde if that is something you're doing. But yeah, it's just so that's the sort of themes for this Mercury retrograde. During this time, we will have 3 oppositions to Jupiter, and with Mercury retrograde opposite Jupiter, it can be a bombarding of communication. It's a lot. It can be sending emails, or not getting any replies, or then all of a sudden you get loads of emails from somebody oh my god, they're just constantly, but it's because they've got sort of stuck on route type thing. It can be a lot of people giving their opinions and miscommunications around what they mean and what they're suggesting, what they're thinking, what their opinion truly is. So there could be a lot of that confusion, miscommunication of people's opinions, that sort of thing. Those dates for that will happen around the 18th of November, the 4th of December, and the 26th of December. So just after the Christmas period, just before the Christmas period as well. So be mindful of those sorts of things. It could be a lot of trying to travel, because it can be about travel as well. So trying to travel somewhere at Christmas time, Boxing Day, or at the start of December, mid-November, there could be a lot of issues around transport, travel, just a lot of people trying to get a lot of places. So the parcel delivery guys could be so incredibly busy that they're just not getting the parcels through. That it's just that sort of thing, just roads becoming blocked, all that sort of stuff. we have three three Saturn squares. That's enough. I don't need four. To this Mercury retrograde also. And Saturn is the opposite to Jupiter, really. So instead of having too much and being over bombarded and having it's restrictions, it's delays, it's setbacks, the squares are like particularly problemsome. So those squares will take place on the 12th of November, the 7th of December, and the 27th of December. Now, we also have a Sun Cassimi to this Mercury retrograde on the 6th of December. So with that Saturn square already kind of in play on that 7th of December, it's going to be quite a tricky time, I imagine, for a lot of setbacks and delays and issues building up around then. Maybe even like power outages or like internet just being out and things not working. You know, like we had earlier in the year, all the banking systems and like airports and stuff like that, their computer systems all seem to go down and that sort of problem. So we could have something similar to that happening, maybe around those times, the 12th of November, the 7th of December, and the 27th of December, particularly around that 7th of December, though. So that might be something to look out for. It will be trine to Mars, so there may be a positive feeling to want to take action, want to move forward, want to get things done. But it's never a good time to start stuff new in a Mercury retrograde. So yeah, that's basically what we've got to look forward to over the next couple of months. I will just quickly put in the signs and how it will affect each sign. Really, you should be looking at your rising sign, but it does work also for your sun sign. Okay, so for Aries, this Mercury retrograde is happening in your 9th house, which is typically related to Sagittarius type themes of long distance travel, traveling, learning, but like higher learning, so like colleges or universities if you're studying, or studying online, it can be as well. So if there is something that you are doing at the moment where you're studying, then there could be issues around your submission, maybe like the technology not working, not being able to submit work when you need to, like hit a deadline, issues around just like the tech and communications. But with travel, it could be if you've like ordered things from abroad and in that they're not going to arrive on time, or they go missing. But it can also be related to car trouble, issues with transport and travel. So for Taurus, this Mercury retrograde is happening in the 8th house. Now this can be quite serious about psychological things, taboo subjects, but very much about contracts. So if you're needing to sort of look back over contracts that may have expired and you may still be paying for, that might be beneficial to save you a few pounds. But don't go signing any contracts, don't get drawn into any new contracts, particularly things like remortgaging and, remortgaging not so much, but if it's a new contract, so like a mortgage, substantial contracts like that is really not ideal in a Mercury retrograde. Okay, so for Gemini, this Mercury retrograde will be taking place in the 7th house, which is about partnerships and relationships. So your romantic relationships, you may find exes returning out of the blue. You could find rehashing of an old argument with a partner, which like you've had in the past, and it seems to be getting brought up again and again and again, causing issue. It could be just miscommunication, misunderstandings, sending each other messages and not getting through to each other, that kind of thing. But it's very much about your partnership. So if you're not in a relationship but you work alongside somebody, it could be your work partnership. It could be any partnership that you have in your life. For Cancer and Cancer rising, this Mercury retrograde will be happening in your 6th house, which is all about things like your lifestyle, your health. It can also be about pets and their health. So obviously take care of your pets around this time, but also if you need to take a rest, if you need to do things like eat healthier, exercise more, get healthy, and take care of yourself better during this Mercury retrograde, this is giving you the chance to do that. Okay, for Leo and Leo rising, this Mercury retrograde will be happening in your 5th house. So this can be things around family, around your children, but it can also be around your hobbies and your creative pursuits. So it could be returning to an old hobby that you have just not had time for recently, or it could be something like just issues around those sorts of things. So miscommunication with your children, particularly if you have like teenagers, that kind of thing, or toddlers, they're quite hard to communicate with sometimes. Technology, so if you have like children who have mobile phones and issues with things like that, that is quite a theme as well. And just family life, and at home, sort of technology at home. For Virgo and Virgo rising, this Mercury retrograde will be happening in your 4th house of home and also family. But it'll be things around the home most likely that will go sort of up the chute during this Mercury retrograde. Things like, like your kitchen appliances, household things that you need. So yeah, just make sure you're like up to date with your insurance and your household policies and stuff like that, and just expect like they will all sort of come good in a few weeks' time. So just don't panic too much. But yeah, there could be issues around the house and the home. Okay, so for Libras and Libra risings, Sun and Moon and all the rest of it, Sagittarius is in your 3rd house. The Mercury retrograde is in Sagittarius, in your 3rd house, should I say. So it is all about communication. It can be local commutes and travelling just locally around your community. It could be like issues with your neighbours, those sorts of things. It could be with siblings as well, but it is predominantly around communication. And so just misunderstandings, communications not going right, maybe not having any like phone network and reception in your local area at the time, those kind of things. Okay, so for Scorpios, there could be a like significant communication that comes in around your values, how you value things, but this is predominantly in your 2nd house, and it is about finances, your money, how you earn your money also. So you're likely to have issues come up with that. How you earn your money, your working hours may be changing, like the amount of money you earn. But it can also be around like banking, like internet banking could be a problem, or just issues with maybe there's an item that you purchase which has a hidden cost. Like it isn't what you thought it would be and the cost isn't what you expected. Okay, so for Sagittarius, this Mercury retrograde is obviously happening in your sign. So if your sun or rising, your 1st house, or your sun sign, this is just going to be one of those Mercury retrogrades that shows up in everything you do. Whatever you touch is going to just like not work. It's going to be issues around communications. There's going to be misunderstandings. It's just you, like everything could happen in this Mercury retrograde. So you're best just to sort of relax and enjoy the moment, I guess, and go back over the old things and not start anything new. For Capricorn and Capricorn rising, this will be taking place in your 12th house, which is about endings, bringing things to completion. So if you are you have like a whole chores list, a job list that has just like been sat and there's things on it which you just need to go back over, you've started, you haven't finished. This is a great time to just go back over all those things and bring them to completion, not starting anything new, but going back, revisiting, completing all those old things. This could be a time where you really need to just sort of take time out also. It can be around hospitals. So if you have loved ones or yourself and you're needing to go to hospital or have like hospital appointments, it can be about rehab, retreats. But places where people go to like sort of recover and rest and heal and get better. It can be quite spiritual also. So any of those types of things, this is like the Mercury retrograde that's about that for you. For Aquarius and Aquarius rising, this Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius will be happening in your 11th house. Now, the 11th house is very much about networking and social media and things we do online. It can be very much about communication, and it's about our sort of social circle, our friendship groups that are wider and broader than just our family and friends. So it's all those kind of communications, friendship groups, stuff like that. It could really get a bit messy in around this Mercury retrograde. Not to worry though, but I mean, obviously you might be spending a bit less time on social media if it's not working so well. And finally, Pisces. This Sagittarius Mercury retrograde will be taking place in your 10th house. It's about your public persona and what you're known for, but it's mostly about people's careers, because most people are known for what it is they do as a career. So this could bring up maybe past jobs, past situations, people you met in previous workplaces, but it'll just bring up a bit of frustration and annoyances with the sort of day-to-day workings of the office technology, the printers, the computers, and all those types of things. Communication just not going as well as it should.